When Destiny Payton struck a match, the entire Love and Marriage Huntsville universe began to watch the fire burn. For a long time, Destiny was not well known. She used to play it safe and rarely voiced her opinions, but lately that has changed. Her change in energy has been noticed by fans who have been watching closely. She's starting to speak up more, posting messages and giving just enough clues to get people to take notice. However, she is no longer quiet. Even seasoned viewers were taken aback by Destiny's recent Instagram Live, which revealed details about her time in Huntsville. This was personal experience rather than merely rumors. She asserted that she witnessed events firsthand and didn't mince words any longer.
Everything that was asked of me was valid, except for, I felt a little way about you got a pillow next to you because I am a friend of the show. And it wasn't, in my mind, necessary for me to have my relationship on display because my current situation is not a part of the show, or was not a part of the show at the time. So,
Destiny is revealing everything, including the alleged attempts by producers to rewrite stories and the ways in which actors embellish tales for the cameras. It began with lighthearted conversations about skincare and long-standing friendships, just fate being fate, until one comment turned everything upside down. A fan asked in the chat, "Is what they're saying about Marsau accurate?" Destiny paused, but not in the way that makes you consider your response. Rather, it was evident that something genuine had just occurred. After staring into the camera for a long moment, she uttered the words, "I know what I saw." Subsequently, the tone shifted entirely, and Destiny began to recount a night that had been on repeat in her imagination. Although it wasn't a complete confession, the picture was sufficiently painted. It was at a private event, she claims, and was not captured on camera for the show or made public. She claims that she sensed something wasn't right as soon as she entered the room. The way Marcel was standing next to an unfamiliar woman. Too near and too familiar, this was the kind of interaction that made Destiny stop dead in her tracks, and she made it clear that it wasn't just a friendly hug or courteous conversation. Body language, eye contact, and the way they leaned into one another when they believed no one was looking were all mentioned by her. Although she didn't mention names, her tone was clear enough to convey her meaning. This wasn't a miscommunication. She didn't hear this rumor. Her perspective on the entire crew was altered when she witnessed it. Patterns convey a narrative, while a single moment can be explained. Destiny claimed that although she had noticed something odd about Marsau before, that night was the first time she couldn't ignore it. As time went on, she began to piece together the details. Unexpected late-night appearances at parties, brief trips that didn't add up, and stories that changed depending on who asked. The cast members had sent her grainy pictures from that same evening, she said. One featured Marcel in the background with a woman who wasn't part of the typical circle just off to the side. According to Destiny, she kept everything to herself for a while because she didn't want to start a fight, especially since she still respected some of the group members. However, the longer she remained silent, the more things continued to accumulate. If I saw something that could hurt someone I care about, why am I helping keep the secret? She asked herself at one point before. Despite not naming specifics, she made it apparent that this wasn't a one-night thing, it was a pattern. What made her decide to go public? Considering the potential identity of the woman, it was more than just infidelity, it was betrayal. The comment that Destiny made that sent fans into a frenzy was, "You all have seen her before." That was all that was required. Fans began reliving the past, watching old footage, focusing on background guests at community events and cast parties, the season 4 cookout, the Business Expo episode, and even behind-the-scenes footage of Marceau chatting off camera. Theories began to fly. A woman who appeared in a few group scenes without being identified by name was brought up by some fans. Others think she was staff at one of the events, frequently standing close by but never being directly acknowledged. This is the point at which everything truly began to make sense. Destiny attested that this was not an isolated incident. The same woman had appeared on several occasions. She claimed there was a constant energy, as if something were being concealed in plain view. Not only had Destiny witnessed it, but she had also experienced the tension that surrounded it, so she made it abundantly evident that this was not a mere rumor. You won't believe what Marceau said when Destiny confronted him instead of merely observing from a distance. When Destiny went to Marsau's woman to man, she didn't bring accusations. Instead, she received a masterclass in gaslighting. She claimed that it was a peaceful exchange in which she merely brought up what she had observed and requested clarification. Marsau, on the other hand, is said to have dismissed it as unimportant. With what Destiny described as the most informal tone imaginable, he said, "That's just someone I network with." It didn't end there, though. Marsau abruptly changed the tone, according to Destiny, and instead of acting like a worried friend, she started acting clumsy. "You are superior to this, you are reaching, why are you attempting to stir things up?" When she brought up the subject, he allegedly answered in that way, and Destiny acknowledged that she briefly began to question her own judgment. She claimed the entire incident was a diversion and that he made me feel bad for asking questions as if I were the issue. Marsau simply discussed the woman's actions without ever denying knowing her or claiming that Destiny was mistaken about the encounter. At that point, Destiny began to realize that she wouldn't be able to get the truth directly from him. He probably wanted her to feel inferior for even asking, which is why she began to doubt everything, particularly Marcel and Leticia's relationship. The most difficult of all questions must now be asked. What and when did Leticia know? Destiny says that she made an effort and that she contacted Leticia to alert her. Giving her friend the same respect she would expect if the roles were reversed, she claims, was the goal rather than being messy. But Leticia turned it off. "Everyone has something negative to say about my marriage, and it's always hateful." Every time Destiny mentioned it, she claims to have received that energy, and fans are now revisiting and viewing old clips in a new light. The conflict during the trip to Vegas, particularly when the subject of cheating was raised, and Leticia's nonverbal cues when the cast mentioned other women during that reunion show. The fleeting glances and the times she felt uneasy but maintained a tight smile, these scenes now have a whole new depth thanks to Destiny's words. Because if Leticia knew or at least suspected and still remained silent, that's protection, not just loyalty. Although he is accustomed to scandal, Martell may be the one pulling strings this time. In the past, Destiny and Martell were close, then apart, and then somewhat allies once more. Although Martell hasn't explicitly mentioned himself in Destiny's most recent reveal, fans are noticing that his tense relationship with Marsau is where the breadcrumbs begin. Tension has existed since the revelation of Marcel's own infidelity. Martell retaliated to remarks made by Marsau. He threw the line, "Worry about your own backyard," at the reunion. With remarks like, "A lot of people are acting righteous but doing worse than I ever did," he has also been dubious on his podcast. And immediately following Destiny's Live, Martell uploaded a mysterious message to his story that simply appeared as a black screen with the words, "Told y'all." Fans are starting to make connections. Had Martell been sitting on the same information all along? Did he give Destiny any food, or was he simply holding off until someone else spoke? According to some, Destiny and Martell may have been collaborating without even realizing it, like two sides of a single storm revealing secrets that have been simmering beneath the surface for seasons. This is where things start to get really interesting. Leticia's silence, Marcel's response, and Destiny's side have all been discussed, but rumors are now circulating that the truth may be hidden in the vault, as seen in production footage. There's reportedly some unreleased video from a cast event where Marcelo was seen on camera with the unidentified woman, according to people close to the set. Listen up, this wasn't a simple handshake and walk away moment. It was intimate, according to sources, with overly friendly body language. Why hasn't been broadcast yet? There are a few theories that are being discussed. It's being saved for the reunion, according to one source, while another said that producers thought it was too hot for TV, particularly since things were still happening behind the scenes, which explains a lot of the silence that has been maintained by everyone. There are even fans who believe it will be released as a bonus clip. Owens occasionally surprises us with extended scenes or brief midweek sneak peeks, as you are aware. On Destiny's Live, a fan wrote, "I bet they filmed it and cut it to protect Marsau. They are always editing around him. Imagine that one appearing out of nowhere." And yet another wrote, "Leticia better hope they don't drop that footage because, baby, the internet will not be kind." Since Marsau has been so adamant about denying everything, they are not incorrect. If this footage does surface and proves what people are claiming it does, it could totally discredit his version of events. Leticia's silence will change significantly if that occurs. For example, was she shielding him or was she truly unaware? That footage may provide more answers than Destiny ever could, so here we are. Production may have the last card. Destiny is done being reticent and Martell is done being polite. Let's get real now. You may still be unsure about whether Destiny is telling the truth or if there is something she is omitting. We should discuss it. Is Marsau guilty in your opinion? Is Leticia truly hiding something from everyone all this time? And do you think she is genuinely sitting on such sloppy footage? Because let's face it, what if that clip is real and does drop? The entire situation is catching fire. Please share your theories with us in the comment section. We'd love to hear them all. Additionally, if you enjoy this type of celebrity tea, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't miss any updates. This drama is far from over, as you already know, and we'll be here to break the news to you.